Hello friends, I am Joe Nally, your director, here with the rehearsal video for Stars and Stripes for Christmas. This is the Bay Winds virtual holiday / late fall concert. We are here to take about a half an hour, work through Stars and Stripes for Christmas. You're all familiar with this piece. You've played it in the past. But we're going to go ahead and take the time to work through it just a little bit, give you the opportunity to play along, give you the opportunity to use your ever-present pencil to mark up your freshly printed pages. Okay? Everything that we do now that goes into the music when you record, it might sound like a minor thing. It might sound like a small breath here instead of there, or exaggerating crescendo here, diminuendo there. But when all of the music is compiled, those things aggregate, and it really is what makes a virtual recording possible. Now, from the standpoint of someone who mixes your audio all together, I can do all kinds of things virtually. I can add dynamics, I can change breaths, but it is so much better if it's there from you in the take. That said, as you're working through this, don't let an error or two completely derail you, turn you off from the project. We are all human. This is a performance. That's why we're asking you to do these in one take. We're not giving you stop points along the way. This is your performance put together. This is the Bay Winds performance. But anyway, so to speak just a little bit to the process here, the virtual project is composed of your individual sound recordings. All of those audio recordings are then mixed together into one master audio. And then your video, if you've submitted video as well, that gets composited together into accompanying video to go along with the music. So what obviously is very crucial in all of that is that you are as precise as possible when recording your audio, listening to the backing track that you have in your ear. There will be a click as well as a music backing track, both of those combined. You will be able to hear the beat. The more precise you can be in this recording process, the better. It really helps. It's the things that you would do in a performance. You would be listening for intonation. You would be listening to line up for your releases, for your entrances. You would be doing all of those innately. It's much harder to do when all you hear is you. So you have the opportunity to listen, but you have the opportunity now to practice some of this so that it comes through. And that's what we're about today. So let's take one quick moment and look at the piece for roadmap type things. This is Stars and Stripes Forever with the Christmas spin, but it follows the same basic structure as Stars and Stripes Forever, right? There's a first strain, and he writes out the repeat of the first strain. And then there's this, which is, first strain is from the beginning, measure 5. And then the repeat of the first strain is at 21. And then at 37, we have the second strain. The second strain is actually a signed repeat. So you will go back to 37 for second time through, which, if you'll notice, is forte. First time through, piano. Second time through, forte. That's very important to have that contrast. Don't let it degrade your sound, but bring that piano down as far as you can so that we have the difference between the piano and the forte variations of this second strain. And then at the key change, 54, we move on into the famous Stars and Stripes trio melody. And here, we'll get into this a little bit as we work through the piece. Here, starting at 54, you have mostly the traditional Stars and Stripes presented with some Jingle All the Way interjections laid over top. It's, you know, it's fun. And then at 86, we have the break strain, which essentially says, hey, take a break from the trio melody for a while because we're going to get back to it and do it a couple more times. So break strain at 86, and there is a signed repeat here as well. So you will play through the break, and then you will play through some complete inserts of Angels We Have Heard on High and Hallelujah Chorus to break the break. And then at 110, you come back to that famous trio melody with the piccolo on top. And then when you finish that at right before 127, you repeat back to the break, do it all again. This time when you get to 110, you'll notice you're at fortissimo. So again, here at 110, first time through, piano and tacits. If you are a trombone, if you are a trumpet player, you are tacit. If you are percussion, if you are a cymbal player, go ahead and play it as written, piano. I may cut you out of the mix. One thing you'll know about the Stars and Stripes, the Marine Corps Band does a fantastic version of this, pretty much the Bible version of Stars and Stripes, and they do have cymbals tacit there at the trio grandioso first time through. Anyway, trumpets and trombones, you guys are out first time through, so all we'll hear is the piccolo obbligato on top, and then jingle bells, along with the accompaniment rhythmic figures. But second time through, fortissimo at 110, full blast, let her have it. Don't clip your audio, but let her rip, especially if you are a trombone player and have that fantastic counter melody. That's all you. And then at 127, we bring it to a close with a complete break into We Wish You a Merry Christmas, followed by at 134, after a molto rit 134, we have a kind of a coda of the standard Stars and Stripes ending. So there you have it, roadmap of Stars and Stripes for Christmas. We're going to dive in to a bit of rehearsal. First thing you'll notice is that we begin with an ensemble clap when you're recording your part. This is very important because obviously to mix the audio, I pull out the audio from your, if you've submitted it as part of video, I pull it out. If you submitted separately, I just take your audio. And I mix all the audio and then I overlay the video. I need a sync point, and that's what this clap does for us. So it is very important to get a good solid clap. Don't worry about peaking your audio here. If it clips, that's fine. That's actually preferable. I get a nice solid demarcation of where that occurs. So we're going to practice the clap one time since you've never done it before, and then we'll dive into rehearsal. So here we go. We'll start with the count in. You will have 2 8 counts before you clap together, and then you will have 2 more 8 counts before you start playing. There should be enough time for you to get your instrument up. Don't put it too far. But you should have enough time to get your instrument up, settled, and have a 5 or 6 beats of a nice solid fade in to see you playing without scrambling to get your instrument up. Here we go, rehearsal of it.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2,
second
2,
8
3,
count.
4, 5,
Here it is.
6. Ready and clap. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Get your instrument
8.
up.
2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ready, play.
Okay, so that is the count in with the ensemble clap. It is important not only that we hear the clap, but that I see the clap, because that's what I'm using to sync the video into the audio. I'll use the clap for all the audios to give me a good sync when I'm mixing them, and then I'll use the video sync of your clap to align the video when I compile that composite. Anyway, we're going to dive in. So first you'll notice that the intro here is the standard Stars and Stripes intro. The offbeat accents, the marcato accents, ba-ba, ba-ba, very important to bring those out. The difference between staccatos and marcato accents here in, and being able to hear those two as different is very important in Stars and Stripes. And you'll notice here that not only is that, if you have that offbeat marcato in the second measure, not only is it accented marcato, but it's also it's full value. He does not want that shortened. That's why you have a tenuto line underneath that marcato accent to let you know. Because otherwise, usually marcatos are separated out. And then if there's a dot under the marcato, it's even more clipped, more exaggeratedly separate. But typically, if you see a marcato accent, it is going to be separated from the notes around it. Let's hear the intro. We'll go ahead and start with the clap to give you one time to practice clapping, getting your instruments up, and then we'll be full in.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ready and clap. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ready, play.
All right, so there we had intro, and we had our first strain, first time through. So it's very obvious right off the bat what Foster is doing here. He is into the traditional Stars and Stripes rhythm and melody. He is adding in jingle bells. And that's what he does in the first and second strain, all the way through the trio melody. You will hear it subtly worked in. Our job is to pull that out. So at 5, if you have the jingle bell melody, I'm looking at you, picks, flutes, oboes, clarinets, altos, bells. If you have the jingle bell melody, bring it out. Everyone else, you need to hear that. Everyone knows Stars and Stripes. What they want to hear is, how is this Stars and Stripes for Christmas? Pull out the melody there. Everyone else back off just a little bit so that we can make sure we hear it. And as always, long phrases. Okay, 4 measure phrases here on the melody. Da 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 da. All right, 4 measure phrases there. And as you heard me sing in measure 12, at the end of that crescendo, no breath. You cannot break that crescendo to breathe into the next phrase at 13. Okay, let's practice that one more time. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the click. We're not going to practice the clap anymore. We are going to go straight in and start at the intro. Okay, no more clap. We are starting right at the top of Stars and Stripes for Christmas. We're listening for the melody, the Jingle Bells melody when we get to 5, and then we are listening for the dynamics to go at 9 down to mezzo piano, crescendo into the next phrase, do it again at 17, crescendo into the next phrase. Those, and then long 4 measure phrases throughout that. Here we go. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Shh. Shh. Loud. Second time. If you have the counter melody, trombones, yes. Quiet. Loud. Shh. All right, great. So there you go. There you have it. You'll notice I hollered once for our counter melody folk. Trombones, baritones, measure 9, you have it for the first time. Also bass clarinets, also tenor sax. That bump, ba-da-bum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, bum. That is the interesting moment there. Everyone else has dropped down to an MP, which is really a piano, by the way. But you guys are marked at MF, and we definitely want to hear that as a mezzo forte. We need it to pull out. Let's do this one more time at 5, and we're going to go on. This time when we get to 21, this is the repeat of our first strain. The only thing that changes here is that some of our melody folk go into this this figurative addition on top, okay? So those people remaining on melody at 21, which is our low clarinets, our altos, our bell folk, we need to hear you. You're going to need to play out even more to make sure the melody continues. Here we go. We're at top, same place. Here's 5 and jingle bells. Shh. Counter melody. Crescendo. Here's quiet and loud. Accent. Shh. Here's our counter melody again. Trombones. Crescendo, everyone. Long, long. Quiet. Shh. Loud. Dashing through the snow, one horse open sleigh. Standard melody. Loud. Dashing through the snow. in a one-horse open sleigh. Over the hills we... Standard melody. Okay. So you'll see at the beginning, at 5, we had the standard jingle bells in the high woodwinds, right? And now here at 37, our second strain, we have Dashing Through the Snow in a One-Horse Open Sleigh worked in our low voices with a echo in our upper woodwinds. Okay? Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. So that's the way this works. The jingle bells is pulled in at 37. Let's do that one more time. And again, cymbals here at 37. Very, very quiet. Very, very quiet. We do not want percussion taking over here in the piano section at 37. So let's do this at 37, first time through. And then, there we go. Pick up into 37, first time through, piano. Second time through, let her rip. Both times we want to hear dashing through the snow in one-horse open sleigh. We want to hear that interplay between low and high. All right, here we go. First time at 37. Pick up. Dashing through the snow in one-horse open sleigh. Over the hills we... Loud! Jingle all the way. Crescendo here. Back down. 70. Jingle all the way. One-horse open sleigh. Great. So that was our trio. Just the two little interjections, Jingle All the Way, twice in there. Other than that, it's standard Stars and Stripes. You all know this by now. This is our the long, big legato melody, and the accents on 2, the leans on the chromatic neighbors. That's the important element of this melody. Bum bum ba da dum ba da dum ba da dum ba da dum bum ba dum dum, and then breathe. Okay, so there's no breath. These are 8-measure phrases, not 4-measure phrases, not the way I just sang it. So excuse me for that, but you need to make it all the way to 61 before your first breath if you are melody. Okay, if you are melody, pick up and then all the way to 61 to take your breath. Or, if you must, grab it somewhere else. Do not grab it in measure 57 before beat 2. That is never in Stars and Stripes what you want to do. All of these are 8-measure phrases. Do not break them at the halfway point. And that is the same for the next phrase and the next phrase and the next phrase. One thing I will point out here before 70. I'd like, you have pencils. Here before 70, he has it written, Foster has it written, to do a swell crescendo at 68, swell up, and then at 69, come back down. And that is true for our horns, for our trombone 1 and 2. You are doing the swell. And for our, actually all trombones and our tuba players, as written. For everyone else, if you are not a horn, if you are not a trombone, if you are not a tuba, everyone else, I want you to do 2-measure crescendo and 2-measure decrescendo. So we're starting in measure 66, 2 measures up, 66 and 67, 2 measures down, 68 and 69. That's how the Marine Corps version does it. The effect is much nicer to have one swell in the melody followed by a short swell in the accompaniment figure there. It's really a great effect to do it that way. So I'd like to have us do it. We're going to play through this one more time to capture all those things. The lean on your chromatic neighbors. Do not breathe every 4 measures. Only breathe at the 8ths. And if you are melody, make sure you do a 2 measures up, 2 measure down before 70. And then we'll be into the break, and we will continue on when we get to the break. Here we are. Pick up. Nope. Apologies. Let's try that again. That was the 2nd strain. If you're keeping track, that was the 2nd strain. Wrong key. Here we are. Pickup to our trio at measure 54. Here's our pickup. Jingle. Oh, don't breathe. Now breathe. Lean. Lean. Don't breathe here. Yeah, I hope you did the crescendo. I didn't show it to you very well. Now you can breathe. Great. Okay. So that was our break. As I said, I did not give you the 2 measures up, 2 measures down before 70 pretty well. Just please mark it in your music and do it when you record. And I would greatly appreciate not having to do it too much in post. All right, so here we are at 86. Standard break, except our break is broken. Our break is broken by Angels We Have Heard on High and Hallelujah Chorus. The things to point out here are just simply moving notes are important. We're passing the moving notes around at Angels We Have Heard on High. So if you are playing a whole note, back off. Don't let that whole note dominate because someone else is playing quarter notes underneath of you, the moving notes under or on top of you. So whole notes, half notes, back it off. Quarter notes, bring them out. And then at the end of each phrase, we have articulations that are important. Accents, marcatos. Make sure that those marcatos are short. Make sure that those accents are full value but hit. Okay, they're different from standard notes. That's and then in Hallelujah Chorus, that is the character of Hallelujah Chorus. Bum, 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 bum. But that first accent was full value, wasn't it? Bum, 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 bum. All right, full value, short, short, short. Ba-da-ba-da-bum, ba-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-da-bum. So the difficult thing there at Hallelujah Chorus is to slur these 8th notes up. If you're playing those 8th notes on beats on the 2nd beat, to slur those 8th notes up and articulate the next downbeat. But it is important. You cannot just glide into it. It must be accented. It must be articulated. So make sure we hear that. And we will do our break one more time. And then we will roll into the Grandioso Trio 110 first time, piano, jingle bells, piccolo obbligato. That's all you really hear when we get there. Okay, so for those who are laying out, remember, don't play. 2nd time only, I believe, is how your part is listed at 110. Yeah, play 2nd time only. Great. So you're tacit first time. Here we are, 86. First time through. I lost my screen because I was apparently talking for too long. Yep, here we go. Pick up. Pick up into the break. Wrong button. Pick up into break. Short, short. Short, short, short. If you're percussion, make sure you're... Ba da 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 ba. Crescendo. Short, 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 quiet. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open. Repeat. Dampen. Don't forget to muffle. And articulate. Da, da. Long, short, short, short. Long, short, short, short. Crescendo. Short. Trombones. 8-measure phrase. Ba-da-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da. Nope, not going to get it yet. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. The thing that we really need to hear is 110. We really need to hear the Jingle Bell melody at 110. First time and second time through at 110. It needs to be short. It needs to be bouncy. I know we haven't talked much about the style of the Jingle Bells melody, but obviously Jingle Bells is a lot of repeated notes. And if you're playing blah, 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 it's like someone not articulating when they're talking, right? So when we get to 110, jingle bells, make sure it's articulated, short and bouncy, so that we can hear that melody underneath all of the other stuff going on here, even when we get it fortissimo. Okay, let's try that one more time. We're going to start at 110, first time through. We're listening for Jingle Bells and the piccolo, the wonderful piccolo obbligato on top. Also played by flute. Flutes, go ahead and record it. If we have a good piccolo take, I may drop you out of the mix at 110, first time through. But please go ahead and record it both times through for me, just so I have maximum flexibility to do whatever sounds best with the band. So here you are, 110, first time. Jingle all the way, jingle bells, jingle bells. Crescendo, short, loud. Here's dashing all the way, dashing all the way, and okay, great. So fairly straightforward ending there. Great job, piccolos. Sound wonderful. Trumpets, obviously, you're in at 110. You have the trio melody. You're the only ones there. You're fortissimo. You can let her rip there. Lean on the notes as we did earlier. Do not break these phrases. Okay, do not break the 8-measure phrase, just like we did it earlier. You weren't playing it, but you were hearing it. So, bum ba da dum ba da dum ba da dum ba da dum bum ba da dum. Then you could break. All right. So, however much air you need, that's how much you take. And then let's do the ending one more time. What we need to make sure of here at 127 is that our phrases don't get chopped up too much. And wherever, so this is not super short here. It's pretty, it's beautiful. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Go ahead and breathe melodically where it makes sense. Bum 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 bum. All right, don't breathe every 2-measure fragment. All right, take a breath at, try to stagger with your neighbors, breathing before the pickup into the next melodic fragment. However, it makes sense. You can all tell, you're all musicians. You know how that typically works. What we don't want to hear is we don't want to hear ensemble breaths at 127. So the low parts are breathing somewhere differently than the upper parts. You're all breathing before the pickup into the next melodic fragment. Okay, so here we are at 127. Maybe. Yeah, here we are, 127. Bring out the low brass. And don't breathe before 134. Okay, great. Molto ritardando there before 134. You cannot break that going into the downbeat of 134. It is separated. Bum, 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 ba, ba, da, da, da. But it's not separated enough for you to catch a breath there. So take a breath before the pickup into our molto rit. Or if you are a low brass part or a horn part, you can breathe right before the downbeat of 134 if you don't have a pickup in. That's fine, but no one should be breathing after beat 3 going into 134 to finish it out. So there you have it. A quick take of Stars and Stripes for Christmas. This was your rehearsal video before your recording. Feel free to work back through that a couple times if it's helpful for you as a way of practicing, getting your chops back if you've been sitting out for a while. Understandable. I think everyone is in various states of performance ready. Very few of us have managed to keep music up the entire time that it's been taken away from us. So it's there. This is what we are trying to do, put together a virtual performance as a way of feeling like a band again, right? So I know that you're not hearing your fellow bandmates in your ear. You're not sitting next to the people that you have become friends with over the years. But when the final product gets mixed together and you see it on screen, you will feel a sense of pride and camaraderie in making this happen with your friends in Bay Winds. So good luck. The recording video will be done by Anne. She will be directing you for the recording video. You will hear the backing track as well as the click. So it should be it's fairly easy to line things up as precisely as you can. Follow Anne. She'll give you some cues in there, not too much, because the point of the directing for the recording video is to make it as clear as possible to keep everyone on the same page. I hope you enjoyed the rehearsal, and I will be back with you again shortly.